Ladies, don't waste your time looking for signs in his words or daily actions to know that as if he truly loves you or not. If you want to know the answer, look to his behavior after intimacy, when all desire fades and his testosterone is at its lowest. It's in those quiet, intimate moments that the truth is revealed. If he does these things I'm about to share, then it's clear. He loves you with all his heart. Welcome back to Journey After 60. I will show you 4 clear things men only do in bed for the women he really loves. And trust me, after today, you'll never have to wonder if he really loves you or not. Before we dive in, make sure you subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell so you never miss insights that can transform your love life. Let's uncover the very first sign that shows he's not just attracted to you, but completely, deeply in love with you. Sign 1. He makes eye contact a sacred act. There's something profoundly revealing about how a man looks at you during your most intimate moments. True love isn't just felt in words or touch, it's often revealed in the eyes. When a man is deeply in love, he doesn't glance at you casually. He sees you. Eye contact becomes more than a simple glance. It's a quiet, intimate acknowledgement of your presence, your essence, and your importance in his world. Notice the difference. A man who is simply attracted may look, but his gaze often drifts, distracted by his own thoughts or surroundings. A man who loves you locks eyes in a way that makes you feel understood, safe, and cherished. That gaze says, without a single word, "You are everything to me in this moment." It's not just the duration of the eye contact, but the depth behind it. He doesn't just see your face, he connects with your soul. That lingering gaze communicates appreciation, vulnerability, and devotion, all things that words alone can rarely convey. When a man maintains loving eye contact during intimacy, he's doing something profound. He's choosing to be fully present with you rather than lost in sensation. He's seeking connection with your soul, not just your body. This requires tremendous emotional courage and reveals authentic love. You see, eye contact during intimate moments requires vulnerability from both people. It's easier to close your eyes and focus on physical sensations than to remain emotionally present and connected. When a man chooses this vulnerability, it shows he values the relationship itself more than just the physical experience. Research from Dr. Helen Fisher shows that sustained eye contact increases oxytocin production, the bonding hormone, and creates deeper emotional connection. But this only happens when the eye contact comes from genuine desire for connection rather than performance. It's not just that he looks at you, it's how he looks at you. The man who is deeply in love gazes with tenderness, wonder, and what I call sacred attention. His eyes communicate reverence for who you are and gratitude for the intimacy you're sharing. This sign reveals something crucial about a man's approach to love, whether he sees intimacy as something he does with you or something he does to you. The loving gaze indicates partnership, presence, and profound respect. Notice whether he seeks to connect with your eyes during tender moments. Does he seem interested in your emotional experience, not just your physical responses? Does his gaze communicate love and reverence? Reflect on the quality of attention you receive during intimate moments. True love seeks connection at every level, physical, emotional, and spiritual. The eyes reveal whether that seeking is genuine. This sacred attention through eye contact naturally leads to something even deeper: how he approaches your pleasure and satisfaction. Because when love is real, your joy becomes inseparable from his own. Sign 2. He prioritizes your pleasure as his own. The philosopher Immanuel Levinas wrote about the face of the other as the foundation of ethical relationship. In intimate love, this translates into something beautiful. When a man truly loves you, your pleasure becomes not just important to him, but essential to his own fulfillment. When a man is deeply in love, your pleasure becomes a source of joy for him, not a task to complete. This shift reveals something profound about how he sees you, not as an object for his gratification, but as a beloved whose happiness is integral to his own. This isn't about technique or duration. It's about the spirit of generosity that love creates. The man who truly loves you finds genuine delight in discovering what brings you joy, and he pursues your pleasure with the same enthusiasm he once reserved for his own. This sign isn't just about physical generosity, it's about emotional generosity too. The loving man creates space for you to express your needs, your preferences, your boundaries, without judgment or impatience. This behavior reveals authentic love because it demonstrates that your well-being has become integrated into his own sense of fulfillment. Your joy is his joy. Your satisfaction is his satisfaction, not from dependency, but from genuine care. This generosity isn't limited to the bedroom. It spills into every corner of your shared life. A man who genuinely prioritizes your pleasure in those intimate moments often carries that same thoughtful, attentive energy into the day-to-day. He notices the little things that make you feel cared for, remembers what matters to you, and takes steps to make your life easier and happier. It's in the small gestures, making your favorite cup of tea without being asked, or listening intently when you speak, or checking in on how your day went. His attentiveness isn't performative. It's rooted in a deep desire to nurture your well-being, to create comfort, joy, and emotional safety. In essence, your happiness isn't optional to him. It's a natural expression of his love. Have you noticed this kind of generosity in your own relationship? Drop a comment below and share your experience. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Consider the spirit behind intimate attention you receive. Does it feel generous and patient? Does he seem to find genuine joy in your pleasure? This reveals whether intimacy is an expression of love or simply desire. Which brings us to perhaps the most telling sign of deep love. Sign 3. He creates emotional safety in vulnerability. We've seen how sacred attention through eye contact reveals presence and reverence, and how generous focus on your pleasure shows authentic care. These create the foundation for something even deeper, the emotional safety that allows souls to meet without masks. The psychologist Carl Rogers wrote about unconditional positive regard as essential for human growth and healing. In intimate relationships, this translates into something sacred, the ability to be completely vulnerable without fear of judgment, rejection, or shame. This reminds me of what my friend Catherine experienced at 59. She had always been somewhat reserved during intimate moments, carrying decades of messages about how women should behave, what was acceptable to express, what feelings were too much or not enough. Catherine's partner, Michael, seemed to sense her emotional guardedness. Instead of pushing or demanding more openness, he created what she described as a sanctuary of acceptance. He would whisper encouragements, respond to her emotions with tenderness, never making her feel wrong for whatever she was experiencing. Over time, Catherine began to let her guard down completely. She could express joy without embarrassment, share fears without shame, be fully present without performance. Michael's consistent emotional safety had given her permission to be authentic in the most vulnerable of moments. When a man truly loves you, he understands that vulnerability is a gift, not a given. He creates emotional space where you can be completely yourself, uncertain, emotional, imperfect, real, without fear of criticism or rejection. This shows up in how he responds to your emotions during intimate connection. If you become emotional, he doesn't treat it as inconvenient or concerning. If you need to pause, he's patient. If you share something vulnerable, he receives it as sacred information. The man who creates emotional safety also encourages communication. He asks how you're feeling, checks in during intimate moments, makes it clear that your emotional experience matters to him. He doesn't want just your body, he wants your whole self. This emotional safety reveals deep love because it requires the man to prioritize your emotional well-being over his own immediate desires. He's willing to slow down, pause, or adjust based on your emotional needs in any moment. Men who create this emotional safety often carry it into all aspects of the relationship. They become safe harbors for your authentic self, not just during intimate moments, but in all areas of life. So far, we've explored sacred attention, generous pleasure-giving, and emotional safety. These three signs reveal a man who approaches intimacy as communion rather than conquest. But there's one final sign that ties everything together. Sign 4. He treats intimacy as communion, not performance. The mystic poet Hafez wrote, "I wish I could show you, when you are lonely or in darkness, the astonishing light of your own being." When a man truly loves you, intimate connection becomes a way of revealing and celebrating that light, yours and his together. Think about how the signs we've explored build toward this moment. Sacred eye contact creates presence. Generous attention creates trust. Emotional safety creates freedom. Together, they enable something transcendent, intimacy as spiritual communion rather than physical performance. When a man treats intimacy as communion, he's acknowledging that the physical act is a reflection of emotional and spiritual connection, a moment where two lives meet in vulnerability, trust, and authenticity. This sense of sacredness isn't necessarily religious. It's about recognizing the extraordinary power of being fully present with another person. Every touch, glance, or shared breath becomes an unspoken affirmation. I see you, I honor you, and I cherish the bond we share. In this way, intimacy transforms from a routine act into a space of reverence, where love is felt as profoundly as it is expressed. This shows up in his entire approach. He's not focused on technique or duration or performance metrics. He's focused on the quality of connection, the depth of presence, the beauty of two people revealing themselves to each other completely. During these moments of communion, emotions flow freely: joy, wonder, gratitude, even tears of connection. The man who loves deeply welcomes all of it as part of the sacred experience of two souls meeting. Notice how this final sign incorporates all the others. The sacred gaze becomes natural in communion. Generous pleasure-giving becomes an act of worship. Emotional safety enables complete vulnerability. Together, they create transcendent connection. When intimacy becomes communion, it reshapes not just the bedroom, but the entire relationship. The reverence and presence cultivated in those private moments spill over into everyday life, infusing conversations, shared routines, and even quiet silences with a deeper sense of connection. It's no longer just about attraction, chemistry, or compatibility. Those are merely the surface. The relationship gains a profound depth because both partners recognize and honor each other's emotional and spiritual presence. Acts of care, patience, and understanding become natural extensions of that sacred bond, creating a partnership rooted in mutual respect, trust, and genuine love that withstands life's inevitable challenges. You'll know this sign when you experience it. Intimate moments feel less like physical acts and more like spiritual experiences. You feel seen, celebrated, and connected, not just physically, but at the level of your essential being. As we complete this exploration of love's most intimate expressions, I want you to understand something profound. These four signs: sacred attention, generous pleasure-giving, emotional safety, and reverent communion. They reveal not just a man's feelings, but his spiritual maturity. When a man loves you deeply, intimacy becomes his way of honoring not just your body, but your soul. Every touch becomes reverent. Every glance becomes worship. Every moment together becomes sacred. This is what distinguishes authentic love from mere attraction or even deep affection. If you recognize these signs in your relationship, treasure them. They indicate something rare and precious, a man who understands that true intimacy is always sacred, that your connection is holy ground that should be approached with reverence and wonder. And if these signs are absent, don't settle for less than love's full expression. You deserve to be seen, cherished, and celebrated, not just as a body, but as a complete being, worthy of reverent love. True love transforms intimacy from a physical act into a spiritual experience, from performance into communion, from taking into giving. When you find this, you've found something sacred. Like and share this video with others who might benefit from recognizing love's deepest expressions. Subscribe for more wisdom about the sacred dimensions of human connection. And tell me in the comments, have you experienced intimacy as sacred communion? Until next time, remember, you are worthy of love that sees your soul and celebrates your entire being. Accept nothing less than reverent love. Thank you for watching my video and see you next time.